Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. Capcom just got done with their first special program for Tokyo Game Show. It was just an hour-long presentation to sort of whet everyone's palate for the next 2 days, which they'll be having day 1 and day 2 of Capcom Live at Tokyo Game Show, which you don't want to miss. They had a stream and they showed off a new variant trailer for Monster Hunter Rise, and we're just going to take a look at all the new stuff that they put in there. There was only 18 seconds, but those 18 seconds had quite a bit. First shot, we see some nice great Izuchi armor for the doggo. We see 2 hunters on the rooftop really booking it with those wire bugs, trying to keep up with the other players, which I thought was funny. And this is not alchemy style. They confirmed in the Japanese stream that this is just another usage for barrel bombs in conjunction with the wire bugs. Each weapon seems to have a special wire bug attack, whether there's 1, 2, or 3, who knows. But here they're showing off one for the lance where you sort of do a forward strike using the direction of the wire bug, then you turn around and you do a secondary one going forward. This reminds me a lot of the hunter art from the dual blades in Generations Ultimate. Here we are just scaling the cliffs some more. Here's a hint that the endemic life could actually have some buffs or effects to our character. Who knows what it's doing to you. Here's an awesome spinning top attack for the cat, which is super Japanese. And then we get this sucker. This scene's freaky. That thing standing up in the air is actually its neck and its head, and then it brings it downward and it like screams at you. This is a really terrifying new type of spider monster. In the Japanese stream, they did actually name it. They said that its name is Yatsukadaki. I have no idea what the English name is going to be, but the director did hint that this thing's kind of like a bug, kind of like a spider. It's kind of a mix. You don't know really what it is. Here we get a nice shuriken move from the dog, which is nice to see. I love the effects on this game. It looks beautiful. And then we get this ugly, terrifying tanuki, which is in Japanese, they called it bunbunjina. We have no idea what the English name is going to be. The people who are translating this live, I don't envy them. They had to translate it live without knowing what they were going to say, and they weren't pausing for translations, obviously. So they had to just skip this one over. This seems freaky. Then they were just showing some more sliding down the cliffs, which is nice and fun. And I think this shot was new. I think it's just different armor. And then we go into the wire bug attack for the hammer. So for you perverts out there, this scene was like half upskirt shot the entire time, but just incredibly stylish. It seems to be a charge up attack where you strike once on the way up and then one huge strike on the way down. Boom! The light bowgun and the longsword one looks amazing as well. So for the light bowgun, it seems that we're able to send the wire bug out and then pivot off of it to do sort of like a strafe, like a slide across the arena. That is so cool. In here we can see we can follow it up with a rapid shot, which is nice. For longsword, it looks like we're able to do this really big movement with this sort of spinning slash, but we're moving in the direction of where the wire bug is. So this reminds me a lot about the lance move. But don't be surprised if this is actually the final spirit slash and this raises your spirit level gauge. Also, look at that armor from Arzuros and the longsword. The designs here are so good. And that covers all the 18 seconds of footage from that trailer. This is some new footage that they showed just from exploring in their talk show. Nothing really major to note except for it just shows us a little bit more of the environments that we've not seen before. In the previous footage, we can see like the before and after parts of the shot that they cut up for the trailer. Some neat things in here though, so I want to show it to you guys just so you don't have to go through the entire hour presentation looking for the goods. Just love the scaling. I'm really curious how much stamina this takes up, because really in these demos the hunter's just going ham on these walls. I love it. They also showed off a little bit more extended cuts of the gameplay, which I'm going to show here as well, and I want to stop for the insect glaive in particular. So here's those shots from the trailer. Yes, we saw this one. This is sort of like that aerial backspin, sort of aerial slash with the greatsword. Check this out though. That's a move from World. That's a move from World. Up. That's a move from Iceborne. Honestly, World and Iceborne was probably the best version of Insect Glaive we've ever had, so to see that all these base movements are coming back is great. And just sort of extended cuts from the trailer, we see sort of that like hunting art for the sword and shield. We see that this is definitely a counter, which does a counter slash and a move, which is great. Yes, that was gun lance in case you guys were curious. Some more extended cuts of just moving around the areas, which I thought was nice. So this extended cut was a little bit different from the trailer, so we get a little bit better idea of how this map is connected. And I gotta say, this ancient shrine map is huge. I mean, there's so many areas, and all these areas are really long. Like, just look at all of this. Down through the bamboo trees, there's the entrance to that shrine that we saw from the trailer, this huge open area. Like, these are huge arenas, which makes me think that the monsters are going to be really fast and aggressive, like they were in previous games, which I'm looking forward to. Just look at how big and wide this ravine here, or this river is. It's gorgeous, but it's just huge, so it really makes me wonder about how this is all going to work out, and I can't wait for the live gameplay demo tomorrow. So that's it for Monster Hunter Rise news for today. Tomorrow's going to be a whole nother story though. They did give us a little bit more information on stories too. I got this wrong as well, but Red is not the name of the protagonist. This is the name of the legendary rider and his Rathalos called Ratha. I don't know why they called it the same name as the protagonist from Monster Hunter Stories 1, but it's not the same character. And the cutscenes were so beautiful that it was kind of in question whether or not you can customize a protagonist, and you can. So what you're seeing here is just one way that the character can look. They will have full character customization. Here are 4 examples of what you can make your hunter look like. They did say that they're going to have the hammer, the hunting horn, the greatsword, and sword shield are back, and they're going to be adding 2 new weapon types, which they're not ready to reveal yet. And they kept referring to this as an RPG, which is exactly what the first game was, which tells me that the system and sort of the turn-based thing and the real focus on story and narrative is probably the same as the first game, which is great because I love that game, and with these presentation values, this game is going to be wild. And they did give a name for the Wyverian girl, which is Enna, and they did mention that Wyverians age much slower than humans, so like they can go 50 years and not really change their appearance much, so she's probably a lot older than she looks, and no, don't take that the wrong way. I think this is just trying to explain how she may have met Red, who of course the protagonist is a descendant of. Anyways, that's all the news from the day 1. Tomorrow's going to be the huge event. I'm going to put a link for it in the description down below. There's going to be an English stream. It's going to be a day 1 for Capcom Live at Tokyo Game Show. They're going to give us our first live gameplay of Monster Hunter Rise and some more details about stories. It's going to be awesome. Hope you enjoyed this quick recap, and until next time, happy hunting.